that the American College of Surgeons.
Felix, you muted.
Oh, shoot.
You are now on mute.
Sorry, I just said a whole lot of stuff, and I was just talking to myself.
Yeah. It's probably talking about the new needle decompression.
Yes, correct. So that's what I want to talk about. So what I was saying is, I'm not certain, but I'm going to find out. But I think the National Registry is up to par with the new recommendations. FISDAT, I'm not certain yet if they're new or not. I will find out as well. But the American College of Surgeons have recently changed last year the insertion of where we do a needle decompression. So you're going to go out there now as paramedic students and as new paramedics and practicing what's new. And you're going to see there's a lot of guys out there that are not spun up with the new. So it's your job, as I mentioned. What are we? We're educators. So we should educate as well and update the people who haven't been updated. That's the importance of continuing education, to get current, to be current with best practice. So needle decompressions is no longer the second intercostal space, midclavicular, above the third rib, is no longer the primary site. It's not the initial or the preferred site. That's probably the better terminology. So midclavicular, second intercostal space above the third rib is no longer the recommended site. The recommended site is actually the mid-axillary, just anterior of mid-axillary, fifth intercostal space. Why? Why is the fifth intercostal space just anterior of mid-axillary? Less muscle mass, less fat, less adipose tissue. Up here, we have more muscle mass, we have more fat. The American College of Surgeons published, they said 90% of patients who are needle decompressed with a 3 1/4 inch needle, 14 gauge, 90% of those patients that were needled with that size never actually punctured the membrane. That's a significant number. So what he's saying is we're not successful up here because Americans are much larger. So they recommend the fifth now as the preferred site because of the less mass, the less muscle mass, the less adipose fat tissue. We want to go here now, that's preferred. Okay? Now, in children, second intercostal space, midclavicular is still the preferred site because they don't have that muscle mass that we have or the fat that we have. So adult patients, where we're going, fifth intercostal space, anterior mid-axillary. If for some reason that's not a site or you can't get there, then our alternative site will be the second intercostal space, midclavicular above the third rib. Now, a lot of people ask me all the time, well, Felix, we don't go there, right? Because that could intervene with a chest tube. Not at all. We're putting a needle in the chest. A chest tube, they're cutting you open and sticking a bigger tube in there. So it's not going to change continuity of care for these patients when you take them to that definitive care location. All right? So don't worry about that too much. Worry about that. The most likelihood of us being successful is going to be in the fifth intercostal space. Now, with that said, we have two sites, a preferred site and an alternative site. Don't combo those sites. Don't make your own site. And what I mean by combo is, don't be like, Felix did say midclavicular, fifth intercostal space. Boom. And now you poked them right at the heart. No, don't do that. You know what that is? We call that a felony. You just stabbed your patient in the heart. You should be charged with a felony. So don't combo. If you're going midclavicular, that's only second intercostal space above the third rib. If you're going anterior mid-axillary, then that's the fifth intercostal space. Don't make up your own space. Make sense? All right?